Hello guys, welcome to one more video from 161 Power Sports, and in this video we're talking about this all-new Boss Motor 200cc automatic street legal sports bike. As you can see, it's a full-size bike. It sits right at about 31 inches. That's the seat height right here. And this one looks like an actual sports bike, guys. So it's automatic too, so for folks that don't know how to shift gears or just getting started into riding motorcycles, this would be one of the best options in the market right now. This one right here, it's actually going on for right at about like $19.99 for sale. This bike right here reaches up speeds of about like 65 plus miles per hour, obviously depending on the rider weight and road conditions. It has full DOT package on it, on the tires, and it is street legal. You get a 14-inch wheel, street ready tires in the front with hydraulic disc brake. On the rear, the same thing with the hydraulic disc brake. It's got aluminum exhaust pipe. It's got a coilover shock on the back, foot pegs for the passenger and the driver. Your rear brake is right up here. Front brake's right on the handlebar. This bike right here has a built-in mud guard right here, so that way all the dirt don't splash into your back. It is carbureted and the displacement is right about like 169. It's got a kickstart backup on it right here. You can use this in emergencies if you ever run into a situation where your battery is low. Now, regularly you'd want to start a rider from here. That's your push button start. Now this one's fully automatic, so no shifting gears. So basically you could just hit gas and off you go. Very easy to use. Now compared to this, there's another similar bike in the market called the Falcon 250, but at a significantly higher cost. Same body frame, well, which I believe this one has a slicker body style, but the Falcon, let's see if I can find a Falcon right here. So this Falcon right here goes for $29.99. Same body style, but this one right here is $19.99, guys. There's also another bike in the market called, it's got like a few different names, it's called Wasp 200 or Ninja 200 SST. Now that bike is a great bike too. It's got the 169cc displacement. The only problem with that was for bigger people and riders, it actually offered very small crunched seating space, so a rider felt they were like kind of cramped up in there. So this one actually solves the problem. So still maintaining that $19.99 price of the Wasp, this offers the full size body structure and fairings on this Dragon motor, the Boss Motor Dragon 200, guys. like we talked about, it's got a carbureted engine right here with automatic choke, and then that's your air filter box, DOT approved tires, coilover shock in the rear, and you get conventional forks in the front right here. It's got a very nice body structure to it. It's got a slick design to it. Comes with sets of 2 keys right here, so whenever you put it in your pocket, it does not bother you or make holes in your pants, because my car key does that sometimes and I really like this. Look, flip it open and you can push it right back in to like secure it. Now it actually comes with anti-theft ignition cylinder, so what that means is when you put this key in and then push it and twist it over to your left, watch what happens. It locks up the handlebar, so that way nobody can just steal it right off the bat. Now I do recommend you guys buy wheel locks as well, if you especially feel like, hey, somebody's going to steal it whenever you park it overnight. That's one of the best ways to do it. But at least you have this handlebar lock feature, so that way you know at least you have a peace of mind that nobody's just going to pick it up and take it from you. Alright, so once that's twisted and you place it in this position right here, the arc with the X, that means it's engine stop, but your handlebars are free to move. Now you twist it one more time, and that's your display screen right here. Let it calibrate, that needle come back to 0, and then you see your Fuel gauge is flashing. It means it's low on fuel. It's got your odometer right here, speedometer right here, and that's your time. Now, blinker controls, and on the dash, this is on the bike right here, and then that's on the rear. So it's got LED blinkers as well. And same thing on the other side, you do that. Here's this. We can see that right there. And then we see this on the back. Now, it also comes with high beam, low beam feature. So, the lights right there, high beam, low beam, you can control that, boom. Flashers, it's got, look. It's got LED lights. It's got a halogen bulb in the front on 2 bulbs, and then you got the LED strip running across right there on the front headlight assembly. It's your emergency hazard right here, so you get that as well. Let's turn that off. Now this is engine stop position, and this is engine run position. So always make sure you're on the arc, not the arc with an X. That's your engine run position. All right, so that's that. It's got mirrors. It gives you a good view for the rear. Now, it's got comfortable padded seats. It's an upgrade from the Wasp 200. This one actually has very comfortable seating. And for the passenger as well. So if you have a passenger that wants to ride with you, feel free to put them on there, because it's got the pegs, it's got the padded seats, and it's all ready to rock and roll. Alright, on the back, we see obviously your brake lights. Let me see if I can hold on to see that. It's your brake light right here. Blinkers. Reflectors, both sides and on the rear. And then you have your license plate holder. This is where your license plate goes in. Look at this. It's got a license plate light right underneath here, LED bulb. So this bike right here is also California legal. So a lot of times people and customers that make an order always ask us, hey, is this bike California legal? Is this bike California legal? We have few bikes that are California legal, and this is one of them. A lot of people that wanted to ride the Falcon 250, that was not CA approved, so they weren't able to use it over there. But good news is this one is California legal as well. So we are able to ship it to California and all other states, guys. So if you're in Texas, you're local, that's our home state. So we're able to do your tax, title, license, registration, all that over here. Let's say if you're in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, wherever, we are able to ship it to you guys, assembled or in a crate. Now, if you pick the assembled option, we usually use one of the dispatcher guys, the ones that haul the cars. They're able to strap it down, and we have an enclosed trailer option, open trailer option, based on what you guys want and what we feel safe to transport. Also, if you, let's say, go with the crate option, that's the time when we assign carriers like R&L, Roadrunner Freight, Saya, Southeastern, and like other companies like them do have this thing shipped to you. It's going to be palletized in a crate. Some bolt-on assembly is going to be required, like putting the front wheel with this front axle screw and the spacers in there together. The mirrors, sometimes the handlebars are loose, so you got to put that on. And then some screws on the fairings. This bike just requires basic assembly. So even if you get it in a crate, most of the stuff is going to be built already, so you guys don't have any problems assembling it at home. Now if you ordered fully assembled, tested, running, then what we do is we put gas on it, battery on it, do a full PDI functional test, inspect the oil, make sure everything's good, and then have it shipped to you guys. Now a few things to keep in mind: it is a carbureted unit, So you got to keep in mind that you cannot let it sit with regular gas for over a certain period of time, because what that does is it clogs up the valve needle on the carburetor, and then you won't be able to start it. Now, best way to do preventative maintenance is shut off the fuel line, number one. Always use fuel stabilizer. Let's say if you buy a bottle of fuel stabilizer, at the bottom of it, it'll tell you what proportions to use. So let's say you fill up your gas tank, and then you look at the bottle. The bottom, it'll tell you for every gallon how much fuel to, how much treatment to put in. So you can use that, or you can always buy ethanol-free gas. Now that's something you can find out locally. I know True Fuel. They have no ethanol on them, which is great for the carburetor and the machine. So you can find out more about that and use it like that. Definitely help you. Now, idle. So idling on this bike is very crucial, because you always want to make sure it's idling at a point where it's not taking off on its own, because remember, it's automatic. So it's going to want to do that if the idle level and RPM is not optimal. So you got to make sure it's idling at a point where it's not cutting off. So that's your lower threshold. And for your upper threshold, I would say to a point where it's idling, but it's not taking off on its own. So that would be your upper threshold. Somewhere in the middle between those two is where you want to be at all times. And then the way you control your idle is, number one, you have, hold on just a second, let me put it back up here. So you get this washer right here. You gotta lock it up first. Hold on. You can use this, open it up, and put it open. If you open it, twist it open, it will go up on idle. If you close it and close in the gap, it will go low on idle. That's number one. Number two, you have your direct control on the carburetor too. So that cable comes over here. It's kind of hard to get a hold of on this bike, but should be able to. Let me see if I see it. Right here. So this one, you can use that screw to control the idle on this machine as well. So it's going to take a balance of this and this right there on the handlebar to be able to have optimal idling RPM achieved. So it takes a little bit of practice, but once you know how to do that, this is going to be perfect. Now, it is a 4-stroke single-cylinder engine, so that means it's only got one cylinder on it, and the motor oil that it takes is 10W40. That's been the optimal weight on the oil for oil changes on this. So at the bottom, the very bottom, there will be a drain plug right up underneath there, where you drain it out. Make sure you have a pan to collect the old oil out, and then this is where you put in your new oil. Let's see if you can twist it. It's kind of snug in there. Oops. Alright, so you open it. It's got grooves into it, so you gotta open it like that, and you can test your oil. Now, always, it's got oil on it. Now, always check the dipstick, and then on your owner's manual, it will tell you how to measure max and min oil level using your dipstick, so you're able to do that. Now, as far as oil change timing goes, for the first time, you're supposed to change it after riding it for, I would say, roughly about a couple of hours. Complete your heat cycles. So let it idle for 10-15 minutes, cut it off, let it cool down, seal in the valves, do that 2-3 times, and then take it around the spin, around the block, ride it for about 30 minutes or so, and then change it out. Now, the reason you want to do that is because it's got shipping oil in it. It's very thin weight, and you don't want to do that because shaving occurs. So whenever you're riding it, all the piston, the walls, it has metal that comes shredded, and all the metal residuals that gets collected in the oil reservoir, you can drain it out. So once you drain that out, then your engine is fully equipped to be now broken in. And what you do is you take the old oil out, you'll see those metal shavings come off, and then you put in new oil from this dipstick right here. Check the owner's manual for exact amount, but usually it takes about nearly a quart of oil. Put it in there, and then ride it. And the first 300 miles is going to be crucial, so you'd want to keep it right at about 75% throttle. Don't go over that, because you're definitely in the braking process, so you don't want to brake in the motor in a bad way where you destroy the valve. So 75% of the throttle for the first 300 miles, and after that you can change out the oil every 5 to 700 miles as you wish. Sometimes if it's just a casual bike and not like a commuter vehicle, then you can do that every season. I would say maybe it might happen in like maybe 6 months, you change it out once or something like that. So very easy to do. There's no oil filters on them. It might just be like a little metal retainer. Whenever you drain out the oil, you can just clean that up and put it back on, and you should be good to go. So no oil filter, so it saves a lot of hassle to maintain this bike. Now, it does come with owner's manual, so make sure you give it a read. That's the one that comes with it. So with every motorcycle we ship, we send one of these out, so you're able to give it a quick read. It will have like a maintenance schedule on it, some disclaimers and important notes. They'll also talk to you about some pre-ride inspection checklist that you want to go over, and then safety rules, and it will have something with your maintenance as well. So let's say something like cleaning the air filter. So it says remove the filter sponge from the air cleaner, clean the sponge in the cleaning oil and dry in the oil, stuff like that. And it will have a schedule as well. So you look at that, that's the thing, checking the viscosity level, the engine oil, and then I guess it has to suit the atmospheric temperature, pressure of the local area. So see, it depends on what oil. So we've seen 10W40 weight to be one of the best ones. So it says 1,000 kilometers. So first 300 kilometers of travel. So I would say that'd be what? That'd be roughly about the 30-minute ride time we were talking about. So roughly about 100, 150, 160 miles. So first 30 minutes of riding it, 30 minutes to 2 hours of ride time, and then later on every 600-700 miles you put on it, you can change it out. That's for the gear oil right there, and that's the recommended time frame. So 3,000 kilometers, which is roughly right about like a little over 1,600 miles. The fuses, okay, perfect. It's got a little instruction as well on what to do and how to maintain this bike. So this should help you. Look, that's the adjusting the throttle grip, adjusting the idle speed. It will tell you the process and all that stuff. So make sure you do give it a read, guys. So the reason why I pulled it out and just went over some stuff is because a lot of our customers, they don't give it a read and sometimes run into problems. But I'm telling you, you know, it's just like doing math. You know, the more you do, you get better at it. So if you give it a read, I'm telling you guys, you'll have a completely different outlook on motorcycles. Especially these affordable ones, they tend to require more attention from the owner to maintain the bike and stuff like that. So if you can give it a small read and you know, like spend some time taking care of your bike, baby it, then this would be one of the best things that ever happened to you, especially for $19.99. You know, price point is great for this bike, absolutely the best. So we discussed a lot of things on this bike. Now if you have any questions, please feel free to comment and leave the question out there, or give us a call, 469-669-1313. We're here 10 to 6 Central Time every day. Well, let's talk more about registration stuff. So we did mention it's California legal, and any other state that you're in, you're able to get this thing street legal. It has the street package on it, so it should be street legal from the manufacturer. Now with the purchase, you get a bill of sale, and whenever you order this, make sure you put in the request for the certificate of origin, because that's one single most important piece of document that the DMV needs to have this thing registered. So that in your bill of sale should be good enough for them to have this thing registered in your local state. You pay taxes according to your local state on this motorcycle and the registration fees. So that's something you do at your local DMV. We do not take care of that. So you got to make sure with your DMV what the tax rates are based on the sale price of this bike. So if this bike is $19.99, y'all already know. If it's 6.25%, it's going to be on $19.99. If it's 8.25%, 4.5% like Oklahoma, then it's going to be on the sale price, which is $19.99 for this bike. So whenever you go to the DMV, you tell them it's $19.99 for the bike. What's my estimated tax and registration fees on it? So you have an idea beforehand. You make the purchase. So that's something. It's good to know. Now, second thing would be getting your bike, if it's in the crate, making sure you got a state inspection. So now Texas requires inspection to be passed. So like I said, if you're a Texas resident, this does not apply to you. You don't have to go do your own inspection. We do that. We make sure this bike is fully inspected. There's a state inspection that's current and active for 1 year, and then we register this for you under your name. In Texas, it's 6.25% plus $93 for the registration, and then for your inspection, it's I think included in that registration and the registration price that we just told you. So that is that. Now, out-of-state customers, so local state inspection if they're required. DMV requires mostly bill of sale, certificate of origin, and in some instances, a odometer disclosure statement for this unit. So just to see if it's a new bike or with the condition, if it was at the time of sales. Like this one has like 0 miles on it, so you shouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff. All you gotta do is request that for us, so that way we can provide you with a disclosure statement. Now, registering it in your state, going to the DMV. Now, one more thing is they might need notary. Some of the DMVs might require notary for bikes coming out of Texas. So if you require notary, please call your DMV and let us know when you're making that request if you guys need notarization. If it needs notary done on it, you got to let us know before time so that we can make sure that is taken care of for you when we send out the MCO. We do not want to do double work, so it's always best if you find out with the DMV first to see if it requires notary, so we can do it all at once, right? So that's that. Now, street legal, guys, 65 plus miles per hour, very easy to use, just hit gas and go. So it's going to be like the best bike ever for the beginners and entry-level riders. Now, once you know how to work this bike out, then you can move up to the ones that have the same body, same size engine, a 250, but then you move into something that has a clutch, right? So after you're done with this, maybe this is the bike you'd want to look into. Similar style bike, but now this one's 6-speed manual transmission. Now it will help you work out the clutch right here. This one has, see this? That's your clutch lever, and then that's your shifter down there, right? So it'll help you do that. This is your front brake, and that's your rear brake. So same thing that this bike has, like we're talking about. So the front brake, rear brake, but this one has no clutch because it's not manual. See? Nothing here, and no shifter down here. So once you're done with this, move into like bikes like Titan 250, GTX 250. You can check out those bikes on our channel here or on our website and find out more about them. They have higher top speeds. I've seen people on YouTube riding it and sharing almost 90, 95 miles an hour top speed on those bikes. So once you get comfortable with the street reflexes, making the turns, leaning on a bike when you make a turn and stuff like that, then you're most definitely ready to get on a 250 that's clutch. After you get on the 250 and graduate from that, then the whole world of options is yours. You can get on a 600 bike and not have to worry about wrecking it because you don't know how to work out a manual transmission. So yeah, definitely don't go into a 600 or 1000 cc bike. Those are expensive, $20,000-$30,000 for new ones. Even like used ones are over $5,000, and parts are expensive, obviously. So if you wreck on something like that because if you're in lack of using the clutch skills, then you're gonna pay a hefty price to get them fixed up and running again. And plus you might get yourself hurt too, because those are very fast bikes as well. They're like the ones that go over 120 miles per hour. So definitely start out slow and start out with this Boss Motor Dragon 200. It is on sale, guys, $19.99. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start it up and show you guys how it rides and performs, okay? Alrighty guys, so let me start it up and take her out. Alright, see, this is the idling speed you want to achieve, because see, this is where it's not taking off on its own and it's not cutting off, right? Got a pretty good takeoff, guys. You guys gonna love this bike. Very good turning radius as well. It's a nice bike overall. Solid braking. Alright, this is it, guys. So this one comes in this dual tone red and white. It comes with blue and black, and I believe the other one is the green. So this is it, guys. Check out the link on the description. Go to our website and place your order today. $19.99. There's a flat shipping rate going on. You can have it assembled or in a crate. We can ship it nationwide for you guys. We're located right off of Highway 161 and Pioneer Parkway, 1290 West Pioneer Parkway, Grand Prairie, Texas. That's our address right there. Now this bike right here and several other bikes that we have over here that are on deal, we go and put weekly videos out so you guys can check it out and see what you can find that you like with 161 Power Sports. And like I said, give us a call, 469-669-1313, and place your order today. We'll have this thing shipped to your doorstep, fully ready to go. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this videos. If you have any questions, feel free to leave us a comment or give us a call so you can ask any questions that you may have, and we're more than happy to answer all your questions. Alrighty guys, this is it for this one. I'll catch you guys on another video another time. Thank you.